Good morning, guys. Today we're going to be testing out a new foundation from It Cosmetics. It is called Bye Bye Lines Foundation Anti-Aging Skin Smoothing Invisible Coverage. So I purchased mine in the color medium. Now it doesn't seem like they have a lot of different colors in this particular product just yet. They've got 7 of them, and the darkest color that they have here is going to be deep, and then the lightest that they have is going to be fair, and then everything else in the middle. It is $38 for 1 fluid ounce, and this does have a lot of claims on it. It's 100% of people showed increased hydration, and 100% of people said skin was soft and smooth. 92% of the people that tested it said the skin looked more supple, and 88% felt that their skin looked younger and healthier after using this particular foundation for a period of time. This also has vitamin A, vitamin E, vitamin C, vitamin B1, B2, B3, B5, B7, and B9 in it. And COQ10, I don't know what that is. Just has a lot of stuff, and I'll link all that stuff down below so you know what it says on the website, and that's just on the Optical website. So let's go ahead and get on with this. I'm going to do one side with a brush and one side with a sponge so we can see how it works. It does have a pump on it, and I'm just going to pump one there. It's not very watery, so it's kind of a thicker type of foundation. Now I've used the It Cosmetics serum before. I think that's what it's called, and I liked it, but it doesn't last a very long time on my face. So this is like a pump and a half that I'm doing on this side. So I'm hoping that this one will last a little bit longer on my face. I'm going to take a brush with this one here, and let's just put it on with the brush, and then we'll do the blender on the other side. It is more like a lotion type of foundation, which again is like the CC cream. So that's something to be aware of as well. Let me go ahead and pump another one on this side. Now I believe the CC cream, you get a little bit more in the tube than this for the price, and I believe it's probably the same amount in price. But I think you get like 1.5 or 2 fluid ounces in the CC cream tube. I'm just going to go on with the blender on this side. Let's see what that does. It's probably going to shear it out even more. So it says that you can use a brush or your fingertips. So it doesn't say anything about a sponge, but it says to use your favorite tool. So, I mean, you could use either or. It does say it is a flawless, luminous complexion perfection. So it's supposed to give your face a flawless look, which I do agree that it does look really, really nice on the skin. So here's the side with the blender, here's the side with the brush, and I feel like they do look pretty similar as far as coverage goes. You're not getting a full coverage at all, so that's something to be aware of. Let's see if it builds at all. I'm gonna go ahead and just pump just a little bit more and see how it builds. So I don't think that it builds a lot because it's super creamy, so you may be able to get it to build a little bit more with the brush. The more you move around the brush with this foundation, I found that it will move the foundation around until it dries. So I don't think that that's a good idea, but it sits really nicely in the pores. It's a very light foundation, very, very light, not over the top at all. It does remind me kind of like some of the new foundations that you get at the drugstore, like the Healthy Vitalist Elixir from CoverGirl, except for this one does have more coverage than this one does. So that's something to be aware of, though. Let's see if it's going to wear like that throughout the day. Alright, so we've got the foundation on now at, what time is it? 5:59 in the morning. I'm going to go ahead and finish my face, go talk to my husband before he heads to work. I am going to be using the Bye Bye Under Eye concealer under my eyes today. And then I will be using a setting powder, and it is the one that I got in my Ipsy, the Naked Concealer from Ipsy. I got this one. I will be using that to set. I actually really like this. It's a translucent HD. finishing powder, so I'm going to be using that. So bye bye under eyes, and then that, and then just my regular makeup. So I shall be back in a few minutes to show you what it looks like with other makeups on top. It is a little creasy here under my eyes right now, but that's normal because I do have some pretty good fine lines in, but it's not doing anything in the forehead area. So I'll be back to show you what that looks like, and then we'll do an all-day wear test. Alright guys. Alright guys, so here's the finished look. So I do think that other makeups go really nice on top of it. Do have, as you can see, it's not like super, sorry, I have like a, as you can see, it's not like super coverage, so that's something to be aware of. It does remind me a lot of their CC cream, but I feel like it has less coverage than the CC cream does, which is kind of weird. But we're going to see how long it stays on the face throughout the day. If it only stays on my face for about 4 hours, then it's very similar to the CC cream. So hopefully it stays on longer. I did set it with the setting powder, the Naked setting powder, cosmetics setting powder, and then I did spray my face with the Scandinavia setting spray, and then I did use the Rimmel Stay Matte powder just in the center of my face just to make sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to work, and then I'll be back within a couple of hours to show you what it looks like in about 4 to 5 hours, and then, well, it's actually gonna be about 6 hours because we started at 6 this morning, and then I'll come back at the end of the day and show you what the coverage is looking like, and if I think that you should purchase this foundation or who I think it's good for. But as far as like the blurring, I think it blurs really well. I think it makes my pores look super tiny. So it is doing that, and that's a plus. So okay guys, I'll be back here in a couple of hours, and we'll talk to you later. Bye bye. Hello guys, so I'm back. We're doing a check-in on the foundation that we're testing out today. It has been 7 hours. Let me show you what time it is right now. 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So we've had this foundation on for 7 hours. We started at 6 o'clock in the morning. So far it's doing okay. I feel like it has faded away in certain spots on my face, kind of in the center where foundations normally fade away. I'm gonna go ahead and just take a blotting paper. These are the blotting papers from Ulta, and they're the green tea ones, I believe. Yeah, the green tea blotting paper kit is what I'm using. So I'm just gonna blot real quick, and let's see what happens after that. Alright, so I don't know if you guys can see that on the blotting paper, but the foundation has come off a little bit just by blotting, but it has definitely took off some of the oils, which is what we want. So far, the foundation is a very lightweight foundation. It absolutely reminds me of the CC cream from It Cosmetics, so it's not going to be a full coverage type of foundation. Does this foundation have, what did I do with it? Does this have an SPF in it? I don't think this foundation has an SPF in it. So anyways, I can't see it in here, but it does have a lot of good ingredients in it. So there's no SPF, but lots of good ingredients. And just because it started to fade away and look kind of more natural on my face, it's not fading away unevenly, so it doesn't look bad. But we are in at 7 hours, and it's pretty much faded away on my face. So at this point you can see the scarring on my face, and you can see the scarring on this side, but it still looks pretty good for the most part. So I'm still at work. I'm just on my lunch break. I'm gonna come back in a couple more hours. We'll see what it looks like at 11 hours. And then I'll take off one side and we can see where it's standing. So far you can still see the contour that I have and the blush. It's just the foundation has kind of faded away. So alright guys, I shall come back in a couple more hours and we'll conclude this test of this foundation today. Alright guys, it is 4:57 in the evening, and I've had this foundation on for 11 hours, just a little over 11 hours, just right at 11 hours. We are still testing out the Bye Bye Lines foundation from It Cosmetics, and within 11 hours it's pretty much come off my face. I noticed at about 6.5 hours to 7 hours when I did my last check-in that it was pretty much off the face. The thing about this foundation is it lasted a little bit longer than the CC cream did on my face. The CC cream only lasts 4 hours on my face. This one lasted about 6.5 to 7 hours. Then it really started fading away on my skin. I also have on the It Cosmetics brow today as well, and that lasts us a good, it lasts us a good time. So if you guys are interested in that, the brow pencil from It Cosmetics. Let me see, where did I do it that I can show you? It's one of these here. So that actually stood on pretty well for the day, so I'm not complaining about that at all. And I did use the Bye Bye Under Eyes under my eyes, and that's still, I think it's still there for the most part. I think you can see it right here in this area. As far as the foundation, like I said, I think the foundation is a good 6.5 hour foundation on my skin. I have oily skin here in the T-zone area, so that's something to keep aware of. I think that this would be really perfect for somebody that just wants a light coverage foundation throughout the day and doesn't mind it fading away kind of gradually and nicely on the face. It didn't leave any blotches for what I can tell in the mirror. I do have like this red mark right here, and I did start noticing that throughout the day, so it won't cover things like it does in the morning. But it's okay. I mean, I don't know if I would suggest buying it if you were wanting a full coverage foundation, because this is not a full coverage foundation, and it never really got to full coverage. And I don't believe that it claims to be a full coverage foundation. I really don't. It just says 1 to 2 pumps for a flawless, luminous complexion perfection. So it's not claiming to be a full coverage foundation, and I'm going to say that it's not a full coverage foundation. It's not going to be for people that want, you know, full coverage things everywhere where it stays perfect all day. This is not that. This is for somebody that if you really just like some coverage and like really good ingredients in your foundation, this is going to be for you. It's also going to be for you if you don't mind your foundation fading away within a couple of hours, or if you just like to have, you know, a light coverage for running around doing errands and stuff like that. It's not going to be something that you're going to want to have on all day long, and it's going to protect your face and stay, you know, covered. This is not that kind of foundation. So also their CC cream is the same way. But I think it does okay. I don't mind the way my face looks right now, but it's not full coverage for sure. I'm going to go ahead and take off half of it so you can see what I'm talking about. There we go. So here's the side with the foundation off. It was covering up this area here, so that was still being covered. This was still being covered. This was still being covered. So it was still doing a good job at the 11-hour mark. Now here's the side here with it on. So I'm gonna just kind of look forward so you can see. Then here's the side with it. And then here's the side without it. Now at the 11 hours. So do I think this is a good foundation? I do. I think it's a good foundation for what it is. I don't think it's a good foundation for people that want to have a full coverage foundation. This is not going to work for you. You will be sadly disappointed if you pick up this foundation thinking you're going to get full coverage. This is a foundation for somebody that just needs something really light throughout the day, that doesn't have very many imperfections on their face, but you still want to cover up something like a little bit of redness or a little bit of, you know, lines. It really does good in the lines. It did not seep in the lines, and that's what it claims to do. It does good. It makes your face look very natural with a little bit of coverage, and that's what this foundation does. So do I like this foundation? I do. Would I suggest it? I'm going to say it depends on what kind of coverage you're looking for. If you're wanting a full coverage, hell no, do not buy this. This will not be something that you are going to like for the price. So, alright guys, that is my review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you've tried this and what your thoughts are on this foundation. If you like a lighter coverage or if you like a fuller coverage, and if you've tried it, either way, what you think about this foundation. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, now would be a good time to do so. Also, if you haven't checked out my Instagram yet, go ahead and check that out. There's a link down in the description area there for my Instagram, and I shall talk to you guys sometime within the week, if not next week. Alright, bye guys.